in this tutorial, we will be creating our domain email account. So if you already have a website up and running, I just want to make sure you understand that we'll be making your updates on your hosting server DNS manager. If you have already purchased a domain, you will be making your updates on the domain registrar DNS manager. And if you have not yet purchased a domain, you can do it during this process. So we're going to go over to zoho.com/mail, and we're going to click on, make sure we select business email and check sign up for free. We're going to scroll down to the forever free plan, and you're going to click sign up now. This is where you're going to enter the domain you already own if you've already purchased it elsewhere, or if you are just getting started, you have not purchased your domain, you can do that here. And this is a good option because it does speed up the process of setting up your account, because then you won't have to go through the extra step of verifying the domain if it's already on the Zoho platform. So I'm going to go ahead and add this. Now if you are a new Zoho user, you will go ahead and create your account right here. You'll click the I agree to the terms of service and the privacy policy, and you will click proceed. Now once we have created the account, it's going to ask us to prove that we own the domain, and this is where we're going to take some information or take a record, and we're going to put it into the DNS manager of the appropriate location. So remember, if you have a website already, this is going in your hosting DNS manager. If you own the domain somewhere else, if you registered on Namecheap or somewhere else, you will be adding this to your domain's DNS manager. So we're going to be adding a text record, and if you just look at this information real quick, it's telling you what to add, an @ sign or leave it blank, and then this is the value, and this is really handy because it gives you a way to just copy that without having to type it out. So we're going to go over to our domain manager. So in here we're going to add a record. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to be adding a text record. So from here I just select text, and I'm going to type that in here, and my domain registrar wants me to add this instead. Go ahead and click add record. Now we've added the text record, so what this should do is allow us to verify the domain through Zoho. So let's go back to our domain, and it says you may have to wait for 30 minutes or 1 day for this change to propagate, and it depends. So I'm going to click on this to see if it's there. It's usually pretty quick. Yes. So now once we've done this, and it tells us what the next thing to do is, which is great. So we're going to proceed, and it's going to tell us we now have to go back and enter these MX records, and this is what allows us to send and receive mail through the Zoho platform on behalf of our domain. So we're going to click this to copy the record. We're going to go back to our DNS manager, and we are going to add MX records. So for the type, we're just going to select MX. We are going to put that value we copied into the destination, and that should be the same. Let me just double check. So the priority is going to be 10, so let's put our 10 in here. And we're going to click add, and then we're going to do it again for the other two. Again, these are MX records. This is going to be 20 for this value. We're going to add one more for 50. I'm going to put this back over here. I did it already. Click on add records. So now we've added our MX records, and we're going to verify them here. Could not find MX record from your DNS. We found this instead. Okay. Now if you see this error message, this means that generally you'll see this on the hosting server. This means that there's already an MX record and it's set up for this, which means there's a mail account created on the hosting server for this domain, and we want to just delete that. So this is a simple fix. So if I come back over to my zone editor, and I just want to see everything that's an MX record, and I can see this is it. We're going to delete this. So now we only have the MX records that are pointing to Zoho, so we're going to come back here, and this might take a minute or two. Now once that is done, the next step is going to be setting up our dmarc, and you can see that up here, these dmarc records, which are SPF and DKIM, and these help to protect your email account. So we're going to go ahead and copy this. Again, we're heading back over to our zone manager. We're going to add a record, and what kind are we adding? It's a text record. Okay, so we're going to add text. We're going to paste that in there, and again, for our house, we need to do this. We're going to add that. What else do we need to do? We're going to verify that. Okay, so this is telling me that it is still waiting for these to propagate, and this can sometimes take a while, and that's okay. So we will wait for that, and we'll skip it for now. And this is our next record that we need to add, also a text record. And this is what we're going to put into the name value, the name field. We're going to add this here. We're going to add that record. And go ahead and verify this. Again, it's still not propagated. We're going to skip it for now and we'll come back. So now that we have verified our domain, we've now added our MX records, and you can see that it is now propagated, and it is recognizing that the MX records are now pointing to Zoho. So we are getting a message that we have not connected the SPF records, which you saw that we added. So let's see. And now that that is all verified, we can go into our mailbox, and we can test this out by sending a new mail. And I'm going to send it to myself. I'm going to go ahead and hit send. I'm going to go in and check my mailbox. And I went into my Gmail, received the email, sent it back. So now I can send and receive email from this new account through my Zoho email